Maybe you're believing God for your health to improve, but it's not getting better. Too often we get discouraged and think, that's just the way life is. But in Matthew chapter 11, Jesus talked about how the kingdom of heaven suffers violence and you have to take it by force. He was telling us there will be seasons where you have to stand strong and really fight the good fight of faith. But a few verses later, in the same chapter, he said, "My yoke is easy and my burden is light." He was saying, there will be times of struggle, pressure, difficulties. But don't get discouraged. What I'm putting on you, my yoke, it's easy, it's light. And you may be struggling now, and you feel pressured, and you think that's the way it's going to be. You'll always struggle with your health, struggle in a relationship, struggle in your finances. No, you're going to come into an anointing of ease. And when you come into this ease, what once was a struggle won't be a struggle anymore. You're going to have a supernatural grace, a favor that will lighten the load and take the pressure off. God is going to make your wood go before you and make your crooked places straight. That means He's going to smooth things out. You're coming into a season where things are going to fall into place. You're going to get breaks that you didn't see coming. Problems you thought were permanent are suddenly, you are not going to go through life constantly struggling, pressured, weighted, down by problems. This is a new day. Ease is coming. David said, "God anoints my head with oil." Oil makes things flow. When there's friction and things are stuck, to make it more fluid. God is going to oil your life. This anointing is going to cause things to accomplish more with less effort. What stopped you in the past, what caused friction, is not going to stop you anymore. You're going to flow right past that. You're going to accomplish goals and think, that was easier than I thought. Never dreamed it happened that quickly. All these things had to fall perfectly into place. That was the hand of God. God has the right people lined up for you. He has the right breaks, the right opportunities. You may not have seen it yet. You keep honoring God, being your best. He's going to take you into overflow. You're not going to go through life pressured by bills and pressured to make ends meet, pressured to send your children to college. God is going to do something unusual, something unexpected, something that you couldn't make happen. I know a single parent mother. She was working hard, raising her children and trying to make ends meet. Every month, she barely had enough to pay her bills. She told how she dreamed of taking a vacation, but every time she saved up extra funds, something would break that had to be repaired. She was being her best, but couldn't get ahead, and it seemed like she would struggle her whole life. The right thing, you keep passing these tests. You're going to come into this anointing of ease. God is going to make things happen that will lighten the load. He's going to take the pressure off. Unexpectedly took an early retirement and she was given that position. With it came a significant increase in salary. She was very grateful. Several years later, her manager, one of the vice presidents of the large company, suddenly resigned and she was given that position. Today, she makes more than 10 times started. She doesn't live under constant pressure. She can take vacations whenever she wants. She supports other single-parent families. Really, that's what God is going to do for you. He is going to put you at the right place at the right time. He is going to open doors. I talked to a young man. He was finishing up his master's. He had one final exam left, and it was the hardest class on his schedule. And he was very stressed out and concerned that he wasn't going to pass. And we prayed and asked God to give him wisdom, to help him to excel. He came back last week so excited. He had passed the test. And I asked him, How was it? He said, "It's funny because all my classmates thought it was very difficult, but to me, it was easier than I expected." And he did his part. He studied, he prepared, and then God stepped in and made it easier than he thought. Quit thinking I'll never pass. I'll never get out of debt. This is too hard. Sometimes we're expecting to fail. We're expecting to struggle. We're expecting around. Father, thank you for your anointing of ease. Thank you that you're causing me to excel. Thank you that you're breathing in my direction. Some of the things that you're worrying about, you don't see how it could ever work out. It's not going before you right now, making those crooked places straight. You're going to look back like him and say, "It was easier than I thought." In the book of 1 Samuel, the Philistines had just defeated the Israelites in a battle, and they captured the Ark of the Covenant. That's where the presence of God was back then. The Israelites were so distraught. When the prophet Eli heard this bad news, he passed out, fell backwards, and broke his neck. All of Israel was in mourning. They had not lost the Ark of the Covenant, their most important possession. But 30,000 men had been killed in that battle. It looked like the Ark was gone forever. And the Philistines took the Ark to their temple and placed it next to their god Dagon. He was a stone statue that they worship. In the middle of the night, Dagon fell over. They thought it was a coincidence, maybe the wind or something. They stood him back up. The next night, Dagon not only fell over, this time he broke into pieces. They realized their God couldn't stand in the presence of Israel's God. Plagues began to break out in the camp. People started getting boils and tumors. They finally realized we have the Ark of the Covenant. They decided to move it to another city just to make sure. The same plagues and those people, they panicked and said, "We have to get rid of this Ark. We can't mess with the God of Israel." And 7 months after they captured it, they built this wood cart, placed the Ark of the Covenant on it, hooked it up to 2 young cows. They turned it loose and let those cows go wherever they wanted. They started heading straight towards the Israelites' camp. In a few days, when the Israelites saw the Ark coming, they couldn't believe their eyes. They started celebrating. They never dreamed they would see the Ark again. They not only got it back, but they didn't have to fight for it. The Ark came looking for them. If they would have had one of these red buttons, they would have pushed it. That was easy. But during those 7 months, I'm sure the Israelites came up with plans and strategies how to get the Ark back. They had lost thousands of men. They knew they were going to lose more. Then they saw the cows come walking up. Suddenly, their life got much easier. They were so relieved. You're worrying about trying to figure out how it's going to work out. How are you going to get well? How you're going to get out of debt? How your family's going to be restored? God is going to do for you what He did for them. He's going to cause those things to find you. You're not going to have to fight those battles. Good breaks are going to come after you. The right people are going to search you out. What you're believing for is going to track you down. God is saying, get ready. The cows are coming. What belongs to you is headed your way. The health, the freedom, the abundance, the contracts, the spouse. God is going to make things happen that you could have never made. The enemy may take your health for a little while, but he can't keep it. You are God's property. God will send it back. He may distract your child and get them off course for a season, but he can't keep them there. Quit worrying. Quit losing sleep. They're coming back. He may have taken your dream temporarily, had bad breaks, disappointments. Stay encouraged. What has your name on it? Some of you. Your cows are going to show up what you thought was over and done. It would never work out. Suddenly, things are going to fall into place. You don't have to fight. You don't have to struggle. Father, thank you that my cows are coming. And it may have been difficult in the past. You tried and it didn't work out. Try again. You're in a new season. You've come into harvest. You can put those swords down. You don't have to do it in your own strength. God is fighting your battles. Dare to declare, I am free. I am whole. I am victorious. Like this man, God is going to surprise you. What you thought would never turn around, suddenly you're going to see it happen. God is in control of your need, and He knows how to get it to you. And yes, we all go through seasons of struggle, seasons of pressure and difficulty, but that is not your permanent home. You are coming into this anointing of ease. Like with me, you're going to see things fall into place. You're going to know it's the goodness of God. And you may be in a difficult time. God is about to take the pressure off. You're going to have a strength that you didn't have before. People are going to go out of their way to be good to you. That yoke of bondage is coming off. The yoke of ease is coming on. What's hindered you in the past is not going to hinder you in the future. You're going to overcome obstacles easier than you think. You're going to accomplish dreams easier than you think.